Yeah, today might be the most important day of my life. Toddler being born, second place. Marrying my wife, third place. But today, I launch the game I've been making, Sky Shard, into Steam Next Fest. So this clearly takes the #1 spot. Of course, I'm kidding. This is clearly third, but very, very close to the wife. They're like neck and neck. Who knows? Depending on how it goes, this might take the #2 spot. But yeah, that's right. Sky Shard, the city building PvP auto battler I've been making with my buddy Ben, is now in Steam Next Fest. As you can see up here, this banner. If you don't know Steam Next Fest, it's basically just an excuse for Steam to showcase all kinds of demos and cool upcoming games. Who's that handsome dude right there? Oh my god, that's me. I recorded that today. So yeah, we're a part of it. What does that mean for us? Well, I don't know. Theoretically, it means a lot more people will be checking out our demo, which we've been putting into tip-top shape hopefully these last few weeks, updating our tutorial, fixing up a bunch of UI stuff, including introducing some new quality of life changes. I think Sky Shard is by far the best game it's ever been as of today, although by next week, of course, it will be better yet again. That said, if you want to check it out, now is probably a really good time alongside a lot of other people to play Sky Shard. Of course, I'll include links down in the description and pinned comment down there below. But, Next Fest is potentially a really big milestone for lots of games. I'm kind of mixed on how important I think it'll be for us. Frankly, I think our game is so kind of niche in its genre. Like PvP Auto Battler is not the biggest, most popular genre. I don't know how many eyeballs we'll reach. I think some games have a very good, just like broad eye appeal. Those tend to just crush Next Fest because it's like, hey, I've never seen this. It looks so sick. I don't know if we'll be in that space. I'm expecting like, moderately useful results. I think our growth happens like more like niche communities, more dedicated ways. A game I think will pop off in Steam Next Fest is this one right here behind me to give some cross promotion to my buds. This is Cursed Words. This is made by the indie team Buried Things, who I was working with on the other game I was making. Some of you may remember I was working on a card game before Sky Shard, which is like still, not necessarily dead, just backlogged right now while we work on other things. The team that was making that with me went and made this game, which I think is going to pop off on Next Fest. It is basically Scrabble plus Balatro, and I think it's hitting a lot of great spots. Much like us, I think, almost a perfect 100% review score, but very similar and very good. And it's a very fun game. I've played it. So anyway, go check that one out as well. If you like Scrabble and Balatro, you'll like this game a lot. I think it does have more of that broad appeal. I think it's going to absolutely go gangbusters on Next Fest, which I'm happy for them. I think Sky Shard will do just fine too. So it's a good opportunity for us and other cool games as well, right? So yeah, that's what Next Fest is. So what the heck is Sky Shard, right? Well, most of you have already seen me playing Sky Shard, but we have introduced a lot of new updates, even in the last few weeks, really. Lots of new art, lots of new stuff, some of which you'll see here behind me from these other players' builds. We got lots of builds floating by right now, some pretty interesting ones. Pillars, couple Rafflesias, I got a big tree. But, I think I've shown most of the new UI stuff. I don't know exactly which parts have been featured in a video recently, but, we got some cool new ranked icons, for instance. Some fun new little art and sketches and stuff for all of our different modes and so on. We've got actually a cool new look at Zap Zap in the tutorial. He's now a little more animated. His mouth moves. He blinks, which is really cute. So the tutorial is a little better looking and spicier than it used to be. One little quest box here. So lots of little improvements that are making the game look better, I think. But also some big improvements this week, which I'll just hop into a run to show you, and we'll just finish the run as well. Let's play Zap Zap, which also, by the way, has finished art as of today. This is not finished art. A lot of quality of life changes, particularly with the menu that's behind me, so I will hide myself here temporarily. Some fun stuff, a little button now to make it super easy to get to the library and check out all that stuff. That's really handy. Little button here to give you the ability to zoom in on your island, which will also soon have improved art. But you just zoom in and out that way if you want to tinker on your island at max view. This would be particularly good on something like mobile, I think. Button here to pull up your island stats. Used to you could do this with a space bar, but now we have a button for people who don't use a keyboard. Or a button here to pull up the main menu. On top of that, I think the most important and coolest feature, as I return to the screen that we introduced this week, maybe, is you can now right-click on a weapon shop with your mouse, and it will pull up all of the units that can appear in that shop. Or, well, not just weapon shop, any shop. I just happen to do a weapon shop. It'll now show all of the possible eligible units in that shop, although technically there's some unreleased ones in here. But, you know, that's a great way for you to see what you might get on any given shop very easily. And there was a lot of debate about how much we wanted to do this or support this. We didn't want it to be too visually cluttered or overwhelming to new players, but I think this is a cool little feature that basically gives players a little extra depth if they want it, and could make life a lot easier when deciding on shops. I hope people aren't just clicking every shop always. That's not like a game flow thing we want to happen. But you know, here and there, hopefully it does help people out. So I think that's a really, really nice quality of life change. That said, let's go ahead, since we're here, and let's just do a full run of Sky Shard. And I'll try to do this one at a pretty introductory pace, since some of you might be popping in for the very first time. So Sky Shard is a city building auto battler. We've got an island here with lots of squares, and we're going to try to fill these squares up with various buildings and structures and defenses and weapons of various sizes, and use that to blow up our opponent, because they each have their own unique abilities and synergies and stuff. This is actually a brand new unit that we introduced today to celebrate the launch of Next Fest. So maybe we'll grab the new unit. I actually don't know how good it is yet. I've been playtesting some of these a little bit. I think this one's moderately good, but I don't think it's the best starter weapon. So we're probably going to sacrifice our opener here a little bit just to try the new thing. But this is the Solar Saber. This one gains damage every time it goes off. It also then moves some of its damage to another weapon. So it can be a great way to buff a second weapon, which we'll keep an eye on finding a good weapon to buff. But yeah, now we'll buy a town unit just to fill out our board a little bit. Here's a nice little defensive town unit with a solid health total. I think that'd be great to start a run with. The Firestorm Shelter. And then also a little house here, the Corrupt Alchemist, just to fill in the space and spend our last remaining mana. We have 8 mana every turn. We bought something for 5, 2, and 1 mana. We've got our quest here, which is just going to complete automatically for us. This one's pretty easy. That's nice. So let's go find a fight and see what the opponent has. Okay. I think we might win. I don't know. The Bamboo's a really good unit early, but this is also going to have a pretty high damage fall off. That said, we don't have a lot of health on our weapon, so we are definitely losing, I think. It's close-ish, but not quite there. This is a weapon I would love to find, actually, for our weapon. The Unstable Tesla Coil would be kind of perfect. This is a new thing too here. The damage indicator is a much nicer graphic now, as opposed to before. It was just kind of some random numbers. So here's our Arborist number 1 from our quest. This is going to make us a little defensive unit every turn. I think we do want to keep an eye out for a weapon, but maybe getting another big defensive unit now off of this defense shop would be nice. I think the stone wall is probably our best bet early. We did not get offered another shop that's likely to have a weapon right now. So maybe I take a cheap shop as kind of a reroll here, since we don't have rerolls normally. We did get some trees. Okay, it's more little defense. That's fine with me. Again, another shop that's not really leading towards weapons. It's okay, because we'll get guaranteed a weapon shop next turn on round 3. If you only have 1 weapon on round 3, you're guaranteed one. Oh my goodness, another Arborist. We're going to end up with 3 Arborists, each of which is making me a tree or a shrub every round. It's going to be crazy value. Let's do it. I love it. Opponent's got a Red Sun Shrine, which is a pretty good solo weapon here. So we probably lose this fight just because they have a lot of little stuff and a pretty great weapon. That weapon's much better at soloing than we are. We do have pierce damage, which helps. Like our weapon is shooting through stuff. So you can see it's already damaged the shrine a little bit. You know what? We might actually... We have enough stuff out front here. We're gonna be okay. Yes. Wait. Oh, just enough. If that got 1 more shot off, I was dead. So that was like perfect. Oh my goodness. There's our 3rd Arborist. There's 2 of our shrubs. And here is that weapon shop that we talked about. So we definitely want this. We want a good weapon to support with our Solar Saber. Unfortunately, I don't think any of these 3 weapons are great to support with our Solar Saber. They're not like fast attack. This one can't even be buffed, right? Like this one scales its damage off its health only. We like the Red Sunshine fine. It's just not the like fastest or scalable weapon for the Solar Sable. So we'll probably take this. It's a good weapon. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not perfect. We could go for production unit here. We're very likely to not get an Arborist since we already have one. So good chance we can't get that because that's an unreleased unit. So good chance we're gonna get either crystals, mana, or enchants. I think all of those are okay actually. Yes, crystals is totally fine. I'll take it. I'll take it. I hear a toddler stomping around outside. She heard what I said, that Steam Next Fest was more important to me. She's mad. No, she's number one by a mile. It's not even close. Not even a competition. She takes the top spot. So opponent's got a lot of little stuff, but having a hard time chunking through. Our Red Sunshine gains damage as it takes damage. You can see it's like we have art that changes as it takes damage. More and more of it kind of gets exposed. This inner red core, it's like a cherry flavored inner it's like you gotta, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a red sun shrine? It gets exposed. We are also getting exposed in this fight, unfortunately. Pretty close, but taking 16 damage there. All right, more trees. We are getting so much stuff for free every single round right now, which is awesome. Just a ton of value generation, basically. Let's stack all these trees up. Trees buff other units when they take damage, other nature units. Shrub is a nature unit, so that's perfect. Put all the green stuff together, basically. Here would be great if we found an unstable Tesla coil. We don't. We do find the new artwork for the big red button, which we made even bigger, which I don't actually think was intentional, but it works. It's even bigger, which is cool. I don't need this. I just wanted to take it because the art's cool. I'm just basically going to sell this as soon as I get offered a transmute shop. It's got a decently high health total in the meantime, and I just didn't need the other stuff. The other stuff just wasn't helpful for me, so this is just kind of a good filler until I sell it. This interacts with Tinker units specifically, of which we literally have none right now, so we're just not going to have time to support that just yet. This looks really cool though, man. It's always fun seeing the art in game, even though I've already seen it elsewhere. Like it really comes to life in game in a different way, right? This fight, they do have 3 weapons, which is pretty scary. A lot of little stuff too here with all these trees. I think despite all the bodies we had in the way, we are in trouble this fight again. The Solar Saber, like we said, is not really a high tempo weapon. So it was not really like the best thing to find early. We are going to get another weapon shop here guaranteed though, because we only have 2 weapons on round 5. That's going to be our last guaranteed weapon shop, but I certainly want to take it. Okay, the artillery repeater is pretty good with Solar Saber. This has explosive damage, which can scale nicely with extra damage, which is good. I think we'll take that. That's fine. More trees, more stuff, more crystals, more stuff. Nature 4. I would like to find a transmute, like we said. Okay, Velmir the Wizard buffs explosive damage, so that's good. Watchtower speeds up our town. Necromancer Hut. This is a unit that scales our weapons when defense dies. And as you can see here by everything that's green, we have a lot of little defense and we're just going to get more. This might be sneaky good for us. I think, you know, on average, I wish this was buffed a little bit. I wish this kind of did 2 damage per, but might actually be really, really good in this exact scenario. We have a setup that makes it quite intriguing, I think. Yeah, let's take this blue crystal again to speed up our weapons. Blue is the color of speed. Those crystals are now hitting all 3 weapons. This is still junk for us, but yeah, I'll eventually find a way to sell it. We have a new bar up here looking nice for the speed bar. Ah, yeah, this is also absorbing hits from spellbound rockets because they always target the largest unit, so it's a little bit of a sacrificial lamb there. I feel like we are not really creating enough damage output still off our weapons. I feel like we're just a little too behind here. They are shredding a bit faster. The Soul Slinger is pretty strong again as a tempo unit. Yeah, I feel like I'm just too far behind here. I thought we'd be a lot stronger by now. Like our value product, you know, like we're ramping up our value a lot here. I thought that would help. I mean, we do have kind of a dead tier 5 unit, which is certainly not helping, I think. Let's go Corrupt Alchemist. I'm just thinking about like what town units I want. The Corrupt Alchemist is fine. This buffs health of other stuff. That's okay. I really want to find a transmute, which is how we sell. Another blue crystal, man. I got a lot of crystals. I mean, they are very good at making our weapons much stronger, so let's try it. Foundry probably here. Enchant Weaver rerolls enchantments, but we don't have any enchantments yet, so that's not really it's not really any good for us. Let's take cheap shops and try to find some transmutes. Botanist, these buff. Hey, the transmute. Here we go. We can sell. Let's do it. I'm gonna sell this green crystal for now, and maybe just like a shrub. I think that's fine. I'm gonna position these a little better around AoE actually now. Okay, so now we just need good stuff, right? I would take like any kind of bigger build around type unit. Like what's in here, for instance? Anything we'd really like? Maybe could do with one of these. Maybe not really that many good structures. A crystal core would be pretty good for us. This is a support on crystal units, but that's actually something that's a little easier to find, I think, in nature shops, so we wouldn't have to support that just yet. Altar, Cursed Bell, Supercharger, none of these units are really jumping out at me. If we did go for a crystal core later, that is a start of combat unit much like this. We could maybe do some supercharger synergy stuff, so I'm going to take this defense unit that scales start of combat. Try for that. Here we have some town support. Casino, again, it does have start of combat synergy, so I kind of want to take it. It's just something that's not very good for us yet. It's another unit that definitely needs more help to be good, so we will we'll try it for now, but I'm not feeling great about it. Casino speeds up things above and below it, so we want to have as many things in a line above and below as we've done here. We probably don't want these Corrupt Alchemists stealing too much life. They don't have to be sequential or anything. This can actually go in as well, though, and count. It's a town unit, even though it's defense as well. So yeah, this is interesting. So like eventually, you know, we could put a supercharger right there to synergize with both the casino and the brick by bricks start of combat effects, and we start seeing a little bit of like puzzling action happen where we got to consider our positioning closely. I feel like we are gonna finally win a fight here. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think it's finally coming together a little bit. This build looks a little weaker, and we're gonna get to their weapons pretty quick here before they get anywhere close to ours, so that's a great recipe for success. I mean, our weapon damage is decent, right? It looks to me like it's it seems to be doing okay. Lots of shrubs. I love this little just entire wall of shrubs here. Look at that. In theory, I should try to spread these out a little bit for AoE damage. I don't know, we're in a little bit less of an AoE meta than we used to be, though, number one. And number two, I'm gonna have so many eventually, I'm gonna have to clog them all out anyway. So for now, I'm just being a little bit lazier. Post office can be pretty good, yeah. In fact, I'd rather have it up here. My positioning around casino, by the way, is not an accident. This speeds up the units above it, determined by how many are below it. So like if I have 10 below it, that's a 20% boost to the things above it. If I have 3 above it, that's only a 6% boost to the things below it. So I'm putting the kind of slowest or most important units above it and then trying to buff those the most. I'm also going to take a watchtower here because this speeds up all of my town units as well. Does its own little separate thing there. Blacksmith, actually pretty good. This one gives health to adjacent town units, which will buff our beekeepers. It will then duplicate that buff, which is nice. Botanists all over the place. Post office, again, this one can go down here, I guess. Okay, this goes up there then. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. This can go anywhere, actually. It's just sort of a body thrown in front, which is nice. but it has 2 stunning weapons and a piercing weapon, along with a pretty solid middle chunk there. I think we might be okay, honestly. I don't know. This is a pretty annoying unit that can do a lot. Like, it can put out a lot of trees, which is gonna just absorb a lot of little hits here and there. So I don't know. Stuns too also seem to be making quite a negative impact against us. We do have a fair bit of explosive damage hitting though, so like we might be taking kind of 2-for-1 hits here soon on most of these units, right? So they look like more than they are. It's like, oh, this is close. I think we're gonna get to this weapon pretty soon, which will definitely help, because then it'll be 3 weapons to 2 weapons. Fatigue Wizard coming in as well, because the fight was taking too long. We win with 2 units remaining. The Solar Saber got down to 20 damage, redistributing to the other weapons. That's pretty cool. I could stand to get another weapon here, to be honest. I could also stand to get more town units. This is a pretty good chance at rolling weapons, right? There's that stun Gorgon we just saw. The Red Sun Shrine as well. Some other units that aren't actually in the pool right now. I'm gonna go for Cheap Town here, because I don't think that's our best chance to find good stuff. Cheap Town again here. Yes, another botanist. Man, we are buffing nature like crazy. This could be a Tesla coil. That would still be incredible, I think, for our Solar Saber. I'm gonna try it. Yes! Yes! It's another good unit for the I think I'm trying to decide about like how I want to position all this, right? I think you go like this, because I don't think the Sun Shrine cares as much about speed buffs as does. Like, the artillery repeater's pretty slow, which the name was based on when it was faster before. I kind of wonder if we should change the name now. I don't know. Well, just artillery might be fine. Yeah, the Solar Saber you do want to be kind of fast. You want it next to all the blue crystals. You want this coil next to as many blue crystals as you can. I guess you could do this. But then your repeater's missing a crystal, right? You want this crystal impacting us. I think that's probably the right positioning here. Hey, another Velmir is very good. That buffs explosive damage. I think that's quite important for us. So let's do that. And we are kind of out of spots for the casino right now. You could move this back out and put another unit with a cooldown, since this doesn't have a cooldown. So now I think we've got a pretty good core of like 4 weapons. We've got, you know, an interesting front line of defense. It's not necessarily the best. Very similar to the opponents, by the way. We've got some kind of a midline engine of town that's kind of, you know, buffing and just doing, you know, incremental work of the rest, you know, just filling in gaps and buffing health and buffing damage. So I think, you know, we've got a good core little build happening here. We just from here need to, you know, find things that boost our power. I think a supercharger that makes our start of combat effects duplicate would be very powerful for us. That would be quite nice to see. Another good win. Let's go. So supercharger, and man, look at this value every turn. Supercharger can certainly show up here. Actually, very likely for us to show up here. Supercharger, nice. Let's go. Okay. Now let's do that. It's here to speed up casino again and to buff the health on that. Here we have another blue crystal. Maybe we hit these 2. Okay. Let's look for like a Scola now, I was gonna say. We don't want this. This slows everything down, which we care too much about our speed to mess with the opponent. Same thing here with the time diluter. Decent defense unit here. I will say an obelisk is pretty great with all of our shrubs. I think we're gonna take this guy. Basically can just kind of plop him here and then just start grabbing shrubs and putting them around him. He basically throws our units at our opponent and can be a bit of a sniper, hitting their highest health stuff. And since we have so many shrubs and these do gain a fair bit of health in most fights, it can be a way to kind of like snipe off and just get a bunch of extra damage effectively. Also lets me perhaps position a bit more interestingly here. Okay, yeah, I might put a green crystal over here just to keep these crystals a little healthier. This buffs health, so yeah. All right, I like where we're at now, guys. We got, oh, wow. Look at that crystal wall, dude. That actually looks so sick. They also have crystal cores to buff it. So they're going to have quite a bit of initial burst damage here. Their coil is going to be very strong very quickly. It's already at 131 damage. Ours is just at 75. They're going for more, and it's going to be even higher now, 167. So they have a really high tempo plan. We have a little bit more of a grindy up to speed plan, right? So it's going to be a race here to see whose wins. They unfortunately did not get quite enough tempo to beat out our engine, right? We had enough kind of defense to stall them out long enough where our little engine caught up, you know? It's interesting. Also, I bet our obelisk did pretty good here. Exact same damage as the solar saber. Nothing crazy. Really, our repeater did the best. Got speed boosts and damage boosts, so that makes sense, yeah. Okay. All right, so we're out of shrubs back there on the obelisk. So now we're putting shrubs back in here. This, more room for crystals, but we'll solve that. Hey, our first round of enchantments. Let's go. We can probably take this enchantment for our Tesla coil. This one gives you damage every time you trigger the Tesla coil. It loses damage every time it triggers. This can kind of help you keep up. I don't know if I even mentioned that the Tesla coil hits multiple targets, but that's why it's such an interesting unit for us. Here we've got some defensive enchantments. The second chance, maybe we take this and put it on the obelisk. This prevents the unit from dying one time or twice if it's an ancient faction unit, which this is. So in case this gets like sniped or something, this can be a way to keep it alive so it can keep throwing more shrubs. Could go for another supercharger on the casino, but I bet we're getting close to the speed ceiling when we speed up all these units already. Because, like, you know, how many units are below this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a 28% speed boost times 2, which is, you know, over 50% already. So, like, I don't think we need another supercharger. On that note, we could put this on these superchargers so that it's for sure going to live before it goes off here. That might be worth more. I think at this stage I need to go for more defense. I think I need to make sure this engine is protected. Hey, the new unit, Kudzu. Oh my God, the new unit. We gotta try it, guys. It's something. That's all I'm gonna say is it is something. I think it might be too good. I don't know, but I'll tell you right now, it is something. Let's take another Velmir. That's fine. Wouldn't mind all the Velmirs being above the casino, to be honest. They're so strong. It means I'm gonna have to reposition a little bit, but it's not a big problem. They're just so strong because they do both a damage buff and a percentage buff to explosive damage, which is really helpful. Up, yeah. Little positioning tricks everywhere. Let's go. So Kudzu, guys, this one is another start of combat, but I don't think it needs to be over there. It gives all adjacent units plus 5 health. After 3 seconds, it grows in 2 random directions. So basically, this is just gonna like spawn 30 things, perhaps. Like, it depends if you know how quickly it's killed, but hopefully it just like fills the entire bottom half of our board, more or less, right? That's the idea here. See, it's starting to spread, then these are gonna spread again. So each round of spreading gets bigger and bigger, right? And as long as you have time, which they are getting, we're gonna get one more chunk. Yeah, like we did pretty good. Like, oh, they got one too. This is Pig Potty, very talented player. We are pretty good at shredding through defenses thanks to our artillery repeater. So we might, and their weapons are a little more far forward than ours. I think we're gonna be okay here. Yeah, we're down to the last weapon. Nice, dude. Nice, that was close. One Kudzu survives, by the way. I think this is gonna get renamed to like Creep Root or something as well. Kudzu is a little bit too much of a real life name, although we do have Rafflesia, which is also a real life name for the plant. We'll see. Have not decided. I think blue crystals are more important. I would like though to space this up here. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna move these down a little bit. Put this red crystal up here by the coil. It seems more important. Here's a good shot because we might get that crystal core we were talking about. We don't, but I do love bamboo. That's just another frontline unit to annoy. Same thing here. Could be a crystal core. No, but also bamboo is a good frontline unit to annoy. It gives time for the Kudzu to snowball out here. Yeah, let's try this. Hopefully the kudzu holds. Supercharger should also hold here usually with the enchantment for sure. Nice. Okay, so yeah, these are basically, yeah, these are all going so fast. Obelisks doing work. Not like a ton of work, but a little work. Solar Sable yeah, look at all the kudzu, by the way. Yes, this unit might be too good, man. I don't know. It was definitely too good if it kept enchantments, but now we have it like clear enchantments, so it does not spread the enchantments, which it says in the text if you saw. All right, guys, we're turning the corner on this build, man. It was starting slow, but all that value we talked about, right? All that value generation started happening finally, and really started paying off big time. I need this to be touching both of the beekeepers, but I also want to spread this whole core out like a whole spot if I can. Maybe not worth it, actually. Maybe just start putting the red crystals down here, yeah. Too late for production units, probably. Structure 3 shop. Anything we really love? Nothing I love, no. Let's just go for a 1. Find something to do. Botanist again? I don't have great places for it, but also the red crystal, like, what's this doing? Could just take a mine here just to throw at the enemy, just deal some damage to defense units. It's probably not great, but it's okay. Nature 4, give me a crystal core. No, that is not a crystal core. It is a mushroom mender, which is a fine defense unit. Giant Rafflesia. I mean, we could just toss this in somewhere, to be honest. Can gain quite a bit of life, but I don't know. Might just take the mushroom mender, to be honest. Just throw it in the front line in here again. It's another one of those where it's just like, you know, it's not perfect for us, but it chips in. Here we go again. Let's do it again. Yeah, just more time for kudzu to matter. More time for our, you know, our Velmir the Wizard buffs to scale up, etc. I want to try out some new weapon, the Star Saber, Solar Saber. Good name. Ben did some good work on the art too. I like it. Just straight up solar panels. I like it. I'm not even memeing. I think it's pretty good. I like how it's a very unique shape. Oh, they got the new unit Jefferson here. This is one we haven't encountered yet. This is a town unit that summons these stone columns that are kind of like miniature stone walls. As they're adjacent to each other, they kind of reduce each other's damage taken. But it's pretty sweet, dude. It can build these little front lines. The kind of theme of some of these new units, which will also be included in future new units, is more about like in combat summoning a little bit. That was kind of a mini theme for that round of units. Dude, we are nobody is killing anybody here. Too much kudzu right now on my end. They had the stone columns. That's something we definitely do need to keep in mind a little bit, making sure combats don't take too long to resolve. But we win it, man. Just barely hanging on. That's 8 wins. We're gonna be positive here pretty much no matter what now on our results, which is great news. Speed up that coil again. Crystal core. Yeah, there it is. Nice. This is gonna buff all my crystals now, and it's gonna get doubled up because of the supercharger. So big time speed ups. In fact, it's probably to the extent now that I don't even necessarily need all of these blue crystals hitting the artillery repeater. They're probably gonna be overkill a little bit now, but that's okay. Nature Shop 3, anything I love? Not really, no. Probably just go housing 2 here. Power line also does work on a supercharger, but it's a little bit overkill. We have so much speed. I might just take this blacksmith to buff my bees again. It's not fancy, it's not glamorous, but it's solid. And take a random enchantment. Firepower, sure. Let's put it on the Solar Saber, I guess, so it has a little more life to work with. All right, down to the final few rounds, guys. Really can't go too far south from here. Of course, we'd love to win out, you know, or at least survive the full 16 rounds. We get a little point bonus if we do, but even if we did start losing from here, you know, I think we're going to end up positive on rank, which is really the ultimate goal. Kudzu is everywhere, man. That's what the real plant is like. In parts of the United States, it is just taken over. It's an invasive species in the United States, and has just ruined parts of the South in particular. It's a very fitting name by Ben. I don't know if it's in other countries too, but I mean, it didn't start here. I guess it's from Japan probably, but anyway, Very flavorful, but looks like we're doing a good job outscaling it. The coil getting up to pretty decent health damage totals here really helps, right? And the artillery repeater too is very good at shredding through kudzu. As you can see, those are our top 2 damage hits. Yeah. Obelisk, by the way, did a lot of work this game. 2200 beat out 2 of our weapons. Very nice work, Obelisk. It had a lot of time to fire basically all of the shrubs, so it makes sense. Look how many shrubs we have on that note. My God, it's beautiful. Oh, the Jefferson! Is it necessary or is it overkill? I mean, I'm gonna use it anyway. I don't care. You actually can also speed it up. Oh my God, I can put it right here and it's gonna speed up. This is really intriguing. I gotta think about positioning here a little bit. I'm doing a thing here where the Jefferson is going to spawn stone columns from its middle tile. So I want to make sure that this column right here is as available as possible for it to spawn into. So I am basically leaving all of the single column units on the right and moving any of the double column units like the post office, the 2 wide units to the left. I mean, at some point, obviously it's going to collide up here, but I'm saying that's fine if it's got that much space. I think that's okay. Second chance again is really good on bamboo. Guess we could put the level up again on the coil. That looks pretty nice. More little cheap town units here. I can maybe move these bees into their own area at some point. Start putting cooldown town units there instead. Yeah, maybe one more. Didn't exactly get one more, but it's okay. Oh, I still got this. I didn't put back in. Whoops. Oh, whoops. This just goes here, I guess. Perfect. All right. So honestly, though, I would really, if I think about it, prefer the Jefferson is up top because that's what's going to speed it up the most, right? It needs to be up here on the right side of that, you know, the top side of that, as opposed to the bottom side of it. Yeah, that's a little better. It should still, even though this supercharger's in the way, but I guess we could just move the supercharger back here too now. Yeah, that's better. So this full column almost is available now to the Jefferson. It's going to be going very fast, spawning a lot of stuff. I do lose the synergies of the brick by brick on the supercharger, but I don't really care. I think tucking it back here is safer anyway. It's basically, I'm losing kind of 700 health, but like positioning around everything else way better. Now, I am not good against spellbound rockets. They're gonna hit this and then hit Jefferson. Oh, dang. They target the biggest non-weapon unit you have, so that sucks. That's gonna be tough. The good news is this does survive at least a few shots, so we have time before the Jefferson gets killed. So he is, you know, we're getting a few stone columns out of him anyway, so that's nice. But man, look at their board is summoning so much stuff too. Oh, this is Educated Collins, by the way, fellow streamer who checked out our game. Thank you, Collins, for playing. He's got a great board here already. A lot of weapon spam. He must have had some portal. I think he loves portal, which is a way to like get extra units. He's honestly destroying this. These double rockets are a real weakness for us. We just do not do well against. We need a big unit basically to absorb those hits that we just do not have. Great. Collins' rating is so high, by the way. Where is he at on the leaderboard, dude? Where is he at, dude? He only played like 2 days. He's such a boss. He's, you know, he plays auto battlers literally all day, every day as a job, right? I'm not surprised at all. He's remarkably good at video games anyway, but he's top 25 in like a few days. That's so sick, dude. I love that he's never played that much. I'm glad he's having fun, but it's awesome too just to see him like just shoot up the leaderboard basically, right? That's so sick. Okay, upgrade again. Accelerate is another speed booster. Could be kind of fun on the Jefferson again, maybe, but we're probably getting close to max speed like we said. Spell shield could go on the brick by brick to protect against rockets. Protects against magic explosive damage, I mean, so like that's good. Accelerate, yeah, I mean, probably still just put it on a weapon to make it faster, but at some level we are gonna have just overkill on speed. Could actually put it on the kudzu. But it doesn't spread, like, I don't know, that doesn't seem that great. Maybe you just take level up again on the coil. I'm not sure. It's kind of boring, but that might be right. Big shop 4, we would take maybe another crystal core. The research facility is kind of interesting. Cursed Bell is intriguing. This one kind of stuns whenever stuff next to it dies. So we could maybe put it next to the bamboos. So as these bamboos die, they stun the enemy unit. That would be helpful. Our mushroom mender in a bit of a weird spot, but that's okay. Yeah. Ooh, dynamo above the coil as well. New art for dynamo. This one buffs damage as well every time it triggers. So now this is gaining basically 2.5 damage every time it goes off, and it's going to be hopefully going off every like 0.6 seconds. So should be pretty nice. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot again, minus spellbound rockets. If we get a lot of spellbound rockets, we might be in trouble. This board also just looks stuffed with stuff, which is kind of scary. That makes me nervous, but we'll see. A lot of weapons there, man. Oh, don't lose it. I want us to finish this run. I don't want to lose. We gotta go. Kudzu, save me. How big is my coil and how fast is it? Yeah, it's not quite max speed, so we could have maybe used that. After all. Oh, we're getting shredded, guys. Oh, too much health buff here. Look at this. These are all enormous. Oh my god, they have so many fast weapons. No. No. Also, the coil is so big. Pig potty. No. They have so many blacksmith bees. This combo is still so nuts. Also, the altering stones, Skola's doing work for them. Just a really good town engine there. They just have so much buff happening from their town. It's just really, really good. Just hyper efficient stuff. Not mad at all to lose to that. A little mad, but it tracks, right? Hey, there's a Skola for us, actually. Exactly what they were using to get all those extra buffs. Maybe we need that. We do have quite a bit of fast town units. I would love this guy now, an altering stone. Can it save us? No, but a second Skola might. Holy crap, it's happening, guys. It's happening. It's happening. Is it there? No, it's that. Does that want to go? I need to hide it in the back, kind of. These also do get sniped by rockets, unfortunately, sometimes, so that would be bad news again. There we go. Maybe not perfect efficiency, but good enough, I guess. Okay. Yeah, let's try, man. The kudzu doesn't have a whole lot of space left. Maybe I move some of these up here. Create more of an opening for that kudzu, you think? I don't know. All right, let's see. Let's see, man. I love this like hard line down the middle of our island. It's cool. Oh, rockets, not good news. A lot of weapons, but not a ton going on in between that. Also, these sonic mines, if they hit my trees, can actually be a pretty big way to buff, but I gotta kill them before my trees all die. They're not actually in the front lines. I'm gonna lose a lot of my trees before then. I also lost all of my crystals. Holy crap. That was crazy, dude. They had so many mines going off. I lost all my crystals. Jeez, I need this to die. I don't want this to shred me. These can destroy our weapons. I think we're still looking quite okay, though. I think our obelisk has actually done a lot of work sniping. Yeah, obelisk is actually the second highest damage unit. I think it like almost killed this and killed another weapon. Obelisk looks like maybe it just killed that too. They had a lot of weapons, so these shrubs are each like 200 health almost, which means the obelisk is dealing 400, which also means we survived the run. 10 wins. Let's go. And we used all 3 of the new units. Professional streamer and game developer extraordinaire Regis Kilvin does it all. Unbelievable. All 3 of today's units featured as preview units too in our build. Kudzu, Jefferson, and Saber were all really nice and important. We gained ranks. We survive. We are Zap Zap, and it's beautiful. Yes, that is fun, dude. That was fun. I like fun video games, and I like our video game. It's great. So yeah, that is Sky Shard, guys. Again, check it out in Steam Next Fest alongside a lot of other great games. I mean, you know, I'm totally aware that maybe our game's not for everybody, right? But go support other indie developers as well, right? Like, it's hard to do this, frankly. Like, in some ways it's like easier than you think, but in other ways it's harder than you think. So like, please Go support indie devs. Check out Next Fest. Lots of cool looking games on there to play and try. And wish lists go a really, really long way. Demo downloads go a really long way. And of course, buying indie games too goes a really long way in the, in the world of like AAA putting out sloppy stuff. A lot of great indie games are making amazing things. Whether you consider us in that pile or not, just it's cool, I think, to find and play games from small teams. So anyway, Steam Next Fest is cool. Go check out all those demos. Go check out Sky Shard. Thanks so much for watching, and I guess I will see you around.